Well, we're here at New South Wales Cup training, Redfern Oval. I'm joined by Milo. Welcome, mate.
G'day, Steve.
And we've just come down for a bit of a look and spoke to Coach Joe O'Callaghan, and he said, yes, we can have a chat to a few of the boys after training if they're available. The Jersey Flag boys are on too, and we might try and get a few of those, but they've been playing well. We filmed them live and free on Bunnies TV on the weekend.
And they didn't disappoint, that's for sure.
No, they didn't.
No, it was massive scores in both grades, and it was really, well, you'd be a hard-pressed, South fan if you weren't enjoying that, seeing that many points being racked up and, South scoring everywhere.
Yeah, well, they put 50 on the Dragons, these boys, and the Flag put 30 on, so there were 80 points from the Rabbitohs. Plenty of good tries scored. There were some real quality tries scored, weren't they?
They were. You could really see how desperate they were to play well, and just put in a big effort. Everybody was backing each other up all the way. They were very good in defence. They got back quickly in both grades, no doubt about it. And that try-saving tackle from Jai Gray in the Flag was an absolute beauty.
Yeah, it was a real highlight, wasn't it? He couldn't have done much more, could he, young Jai? I seen him at training yesterday, and he said he saw the highlights package because obviously I tagged him and he follows us on Instagram. But yeah, so unfortunately that's their last session tonight, like I said, because they're out. There's a bye coming up, so the Newcastle game will be their last. Hopefully they play well, but these boys, they have got a finals campaign looming if they win their next two games.
Well, they can at least hold on to third position and have a second chance. That'll be what they'll be really aiming for. I don't know if they'll make it into second place for the home final. Yep. I think the first, I haven't really had a look at the table, but I think the first two teams have really kicked clear in that particular competition, the Knock-On Effect Cup. Yep. But if South can hang on where they are right now, because a lot of favours went on the weekend to us. The Bulldogs losing was a big result for us. That's probably what that's what keeps us in third place. Cool. The Bulldogs losing on the weekend.
Right. Okay.
And so Newcastle did us a favour there, that's for sure.
Now we've been forbidden to talk to them about finals footy, so probably shouldn't have even mentioned it. If you're watching this, boys, don't worry about finals footy. Worry about beating the Knights, and worry about what happens after that. So.
No, we won't be mentioning any of that stuff.
No.
Long amounts of pessimism, being a South supporter, will not let me go to those places.
No.
I appreciate any finals campaign, always.
Yeah, so I saw the New South Wales Rugby League put up that the Bears were the minor premiers, so I think they're 6 points in front of us, so it will be a tough series if and when they get there.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what... hopefully all our players are available, because we have a really strong side.
Yeah.
We have a really strong side. There's a lot of those fringe first grade players that have been playing down in this grade. So, as on the weekend, Michael Cheekham was the 44th player to play in the Knock-On Effect Cup for the Rabbitohs. So that basically gives him a pool of 44 players to choose from for the finals campaign.
Yeah, it does.
So,
it does.
So I'd imagine we're going to field a really strong team for sure.
Yep.
And there's see a few of the boys. That's Brock Gray out there, Buddies there,
yep.
Tommy Carr, old mate Matt French is out there.
Yep.
Of course, I don't know all the players by face, but just a few.
Yep. There's Bud with the ball, and they let him take the last goal the other day, but we're not sure if he's retiring. I don't think he is. We'll try and ask him later, maybe.
No, we will. We'll make every effort to get him on camera and find out.
Find out what he's doing.
Yeah. I just had that sneaking suspicion that I thought it was his last game.
Yeah.
Besides his last game at Redfern this season, but his last game in this grade.
Exactly.
Here at Redfern. So.
Yeah.
Just has that sort of feel about it when you take that your last goal kick at Redfern Oval for the season.
It does. So you've got your Bunnies TV hoodie on there, mate, and you're wearing your road mic, so just give you a bit of a rundown. So you don't live far from here, or you?
No, my partner doesn't live very far away from here. She only lives a block away.
Yeah.
So I love. I grew up around the corner in Chippendale, and I mean, back in '66 when I was born, well, 1972, I was aware of rugby league, and unfortunately, I really loved the Roosters back then. You know, fair
hang
facts.
on a minute.
No. I mean, no. But then a mate of mine from around the corner down there, he said, "Why don't you come to a South game with me?" And we're up on the hill here, and he was a member of the South supporters squad at the time. You know, got a flag and all that, and we started singing songs. I never looked back.
Yeah,
I never looked back. It was just the best thing I've ever done, you know.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
You know, just some of the great songs and rubbishing it, you know, all the opposition teams. It was just great fun being in that circle of people and, you know.
Well, I know the Burrow boys like Josh Kemp and Mick Tasker and all that now, they love singing the songs and they've carried on that tradition.
Yeah.
It was the Hill Squad back then or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that might have been
It was
predated.
the Hill Squad, and then it became the South Sydney Supporters Club or something like that, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it was the old hill. It was like over there. It's gone now. They flattened it all, and basically where those lights are, there was a
that
hill.
Was the scoreboard, I'd say.
Yeah.
The scoreboard was there.
Yeah, and it was a fun place for kids to go and play and go down the back and forget about the footy and just go and explore down the back. And
but the terrace houses on the southern end, you know, they're all still there.
Yeah.
You know, that all stayed the same on that other side of the street, but everything else except for this great old grandstand has changed. I mean, grandstand back then had seats, didn't it? Not these bench seats.
Not these bench seats. Yeah.
It just had plastic seating.
Yeah. So well, they lobbied to get a stadium here. It didn't happen, but you know, this is what it is. It is what it is, and so.
No, and I like the new look facilities down there at Redfern Parkway.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
It is.
The Rabbitohs Centre is magnificent.
Yeah, they deserve it too. You know, we're the oldest club in the league, and we're the most winningest club in the rugby league too. So, you know, we should you know have something really decent for the club. You know, at the end of the day, and I'm glad they've got that great new centre down there at Redfern.
Yeah, they've done well. They have done well. So we're going to try and get a few interviews if we can. Stay tuned. Boys are just going through their paces now. Hopefully they can win their 6th game in a row and charge into the finals full of confidence.
Exactly. And they should.
Yep. Well, they're above the Knights on the ladder, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And the fact is that you know, there are always contracts up for grabs. You know, this time of year, you know, players become a lot more desperate to impress. Yeah. They want to make sure they're going to get, you know, be here again next season and hopefully earning. You know,
that's it.
You know,
there's a lot of incentive to perform.
Who wants a real job at the end of the day? You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, if you can get paid for something you really love, well, you know, all the better for it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. True that.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll keep going. We've got the Fleg boys out now, Milo, and we just had a word to Ethan. They're taking on the Knights, and
well,
he just said, what did he just say?
Well, paybacks are on.
Yeah, he said we will not be getting beat by the Knights. That's his.
That's a solid statement there from Ethan.
But they only just played him here about 3 or 4 weeks ago, didn't they? I don't know how that works, but
yeah, and and unfortunately, it wasn't a happy day for Ethan Ferguson.
No, it wasn't. So,
but but no, I think, you know, they showed that they're rough, that they can play really well, and it showed this weekend against that St George team, who were quite well. They're a good side, the St George Flag team.
Yeah.
And they really put them to the sword on the weekend. So
they did. Yep. And I had a look at the table, and it's not like they're that far down. I think they've won like 7 games, these boys. They had a few wins, and they're only a couple of wins out of the top 5, but unfortunately that's too far.
With this many games left to go with one.
Yeah.
Do they get the bye as well?
They get the bye, but the bye's not going to help them.
No.
They give them the points they need to make it in the finals, which is a shame. So,
But they've had a really heavy injury laden season.
They have.
These guys, yeah, a lot of guys have been out. They've really had big turnover. They've had big turnover in players, and
They have.
and of course players going up in Grade 2, playing in the New South Wales Cup from Jersey Flegg as well.
True that. Yep.
Yeah, because you were saying Jackson Rami came was he was playing flag?
I think he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was, and they brought him up to the cup. There's Daniel Wright over there, just come back from shoulder surgery. So.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so heavy injury toll and
Yeah.
and yeah.
And there's a few games that I think they led and they just let it slip. So they just have to work on finishing off their games.
Well, at least they're in a good mood. They're talking it up out there and having a good laugh. So.
Well, they got nothing to lose against the Knights, so
That's for sure.
I imagine that they're just going to go out there and
give Ethan a hand and put him to
playing against all his mates who gave him a hard time here at Redfern Rabbitohs.
Well.
So they'll be looking to exact revenge on those boys.
Well, hopefully without anything that'll put anyone on report, you know.
Yeah.
We've only that being the last game of the season. You don't want to be. You don't want to be missing any games next season. That's for
True.
sure.
And then these boys will be the same. They'll want to finish on a high and secure their returns next year.
That's right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So there's TJ coming out. TJ Herring. So hopefully we can hang around, and I'm going to hang around and get a few of these boys. It's a bit fresh out here, and the Matildas are on, so everyone's going to want to go. But I'll try and get at least a couple of interviews, especially these boys, because we won't be able to get hold of them after this. A couple of them might be staying on with the cup. I suspect that maybe Ethan will, and John Gray's a development player.
I mean, Ethan played State of Origin for his age group this season, so I'd imagine that they'll have him handy for the New South Wales Cup.
Yeah, and I think he's already played a couple of games of cup, so I suspect he will be staying on, but the majority of them won't. Boys just getting a drink here, the New South Wales Cup boys.
Yeah.
So bit of footage of the pathways that you don't get from anywhere else, really.
Live and exclusive on Bunnies TV.
Yeah,
we're here and we're loving it.
Well, we're not live and free today. We're recorded, but that's all right.
Us.
But we're still exclusive.
Definitely.
So, yeah. I think they might be done. Oh, no, they're going back out. So all the future stars of the club here.
Now, will this be their last session before they play on Saturday?
No, well, they've got captain's run on Friday. And
down at Heffron, or yeah?
It'll be here.
Oh, it'll be here, right?
I'd say, yeah, but I'm not going to make it for that because I've got one of my friends' birthdays. We're going for a dinner, so I thought I'd come today and get as much as I can. Well, you might be free to come down, mate. I've come down and have a look at the captain's run, boys.
Yeah. I think it'll start around the same time as this session.
I'll tell you when it's going to start. These boys' captain's run. So the Flegg captain's run is on at. Let me have a look. These boys are 5:55 to 6:40.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if these are before or after. These might be up. I think they're before tonight because of the soccer.
Right.
But anyway, 6 till 6:40. These boys. Our Flegg, and that'll be their last go for the year. How are you, Coach?
Yeah, good. How you going, boys?
All right.
Not too bad. Coach Chris Tippy O'Connell there. Have to watch out for stray footies, eh? One coming
not
hot before, didn't it?
Yeah, we'll be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Archie Donnelly starting off the bench this week. Now his nan Norma's a big fan of the show, so I always like to get a bit of Archie. He's just ran out of the tunnel. He's run down with the boys. Try scoring hooker, plays in the middle. He's very skillful. Local bloke. South Junior. So they're having a bit of a team talk there. About to get into it.
Well, it's like a 1970s footballer's name, Archie Donnelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a bit old school too. He just gets in, does his work, defends, runs the ball. Yeah, and a good young kid too. I interviewed him here about 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
It was a great chat. Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
there's Dre there and Archie
Yeah.
having a chat. Yeah, I'm starting to get to know a few of the boys too. You just ask us, we've filmed them so many times now, so.
Yeah. No. If for next season, I'll get more into the being able to name players from the other team. That'd be a good. That'd be go well for the commentary. That's
It does.
sure.
That doesn't hurt to know the other side. Yeah.
And and their family will watch. So
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
just yeah.
Rather than saying number 9 or 12.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.